Ladies and gentlemen, we have a 5-time Oscar nominee in the house. Hi, Julianne Moore. You've got an orange frontrunner's chair.
Thank you.
That's your chair. Have a seat.
And you'll be able to see me because of my red dress.
I know. Good thing you're not sitting here. I'm here with Julianne Moore, the star of Still Alice on Fandango Frontrunners. Julianne, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Is there a moment that you think back to earlier in your career as being a pivotal moment?
Oh my gosh, yes. I mean, when I first started out in the business, I was on a soap opera and I did a lot of theater off-Broadway and regional, and I didn't have a film career at all, not at all. And whatever I auditioned for, I never got. And I thought that that was just gonna be an avenue that wasn't open to me. And then everything changed with independent film. I mean, it completely changed. Suddenly, Robert Altman saw me in a production of Vanya, Uncle Vanya. That production was made into a film by Louis Malle.
Right.
And I read this script by Todd Haynes called Safe. So I did those 3 things kind of close together. But what really changed it for me in terms of my professional life was that they all came out in the same year.
Wow.
So I went from having no film career and no possibility of a film career to suddenly having this amazing opportunity. And it was really all due to independent film.
And that's 20 years ago now.
Yeah,
And what's interesting is that, yes, you've done the Hannibals and the Hunger Games, but you've also really stayed true to the other kind of movies, the smaller movies that you were very passionate about as well.
I've been so lucky. I've worked with so many amazing filmmakers.
Do you try to do it mathematically where it's kind of one for me, one for them, one for me, one for them?
No, I wish that I had that kind of control. I don't. We don't. You know, we really can only do what comes our way. And the only control an actor has is whether or not you say yes or no. You know, so when you see something you love, you do it, you know, but it's not that you have no control over the budget or anything like that.
So what did your theater, or more importantly, what did your As the World Turns friends have to say when they saw all of these indie films that you ended up doing?
Was actually a woman on that show who told me about the Vanya audition, actually. She was the one who said, hey, you know, Andre Gregory is doing this production of Uncle Vanya. And I was like, why don't I have an audition? And I called and tried to, you know. So we were it was kind of a nice little collective. Everyone started out at the same time.
Well, speaking of great independent films, you're in one right now called Still Alice.
Thank you.
So I want to watch a scene from this movie with you, and we're going to pause it and discuss key moments.
Am I operating? Because I'm not good at this.
I'll do most of the operating, but if something strikes you and you want to talk about, you let me know.
All right.
So this is a really powerful scene with you and Alec Baldwin, who plays your husband in the film. We'll take a look and talk about it.
Okay. John, sweetheart, wake up. He's so good. I need to talk to you.
Now, this is a very pivotal moment to me, because this is the moment where your character is finally letting her family in on these fears that she has that she might have early on.
Yeah, she's terrified. And I think if I weren't, I love Alex so much and love working with him and feel so comfortable with him that I remember feeling really, really relaxed and it felt very intimate. And it was his tone too, that idea that he kept his eyes closed, and it felt like you were, you know, telling somebody something in the middle of the night.
Okay, well, let's see how it continues here.
I've got something wrong with me.
What are you talking about?
I've been seeing a neurologist.
You've been seeing a neurologist, why?
How would you describe the mix of emotions that she's going through right here? You see them all on her face.
She's, like I said, she's terrified and finally realizes that it's not something that is going to be taken care of easily. You know, she's someone who's very educated and who's already diagnosed herself and said, oh, I have a brain tumor and that must be what it is, but then is slowly realizing that it's something, you know, that her cognitive decline is significant, and so she's admitting to it herself, and she's afraid to tell him. And I think too, there's that hope that maybe you're wrong. You know, when you know that you're probably right.
Well, let's see what his reaction is.
Yeah.
They think that it might be early onset Alzheimer's disease.
Ellie, that doesn't make any sense at all.
I don't want to tell you because I don't know anything for sure, but I've been doing all these tests and I'm really scared.
Did you find in your research that that was a common response from close family members when the patient initially brings it up? Oh, this can't be true.
Denial, yeah. I think often there is that, and saying, you know, that's not happening, or people just ignoring it or wanting it to go away. And one of the things that's interesting to me about people who are experiencing Alzheimer's disease is they don't feel seen. People don't want to look at it. It's too scary for them to look at. And I think when a family member does that, it can feel like a real rejection.
Well, let's see how it progresses here.
That is completely insane.
I got lost while I was running on campus a while ago, and I can't remember appointments, words.
Honey, we all have memory lapses. That's a sign of getting older. The other day, I couldn't remember the word, glucose.
It's not like that. It's like something just drops out under me.
I look at your face here, it's fear.
She's saying, I need you. I need the support. You know, let's talk about this. You know, he's her intellectual and romantic partner. So she's like, okay, here now I can finally share my burden.
Yeah.
You know.
It takes a little bit of a turn here.
Yeah.
But there is no diagnosis yet? No. Okay. Well, then I think that this is ridiculous. It's complete bullshit. You don't have Alzheimer's.
Damn it! Why won't you take me seriously? You know, I know what I'm feeling. I know what it's feeling, and it feels like my brain is fucking dying. And everything I've worked for in my entire life is going. It's all going.
No.
So is the anger there at the situation of what she's going through, or is the anger that he doesn't seem to believe her?
Thank you. That's interesting. Well, it's a couple of things. The anger is about her fear, but it's also probably an old thing. It's probably an old thing in their marriage, like, you know, I tell you this stuff and you never listen. So it's that kind of like old partnership thing where, like, we've been through this before, like that last time the car wouldn't start and you told me it was going to start, but it didn't start and it wasn't my fault. You know?
Right.
So there's that too. So the combination of something that has happened that maybe exists in their marriage is personal and maybe wouldn't be as big an issue except for what she's feeling at that moment all comes together. It's that confluence. And this is also the first time we've seen her cry. And maybe I think it's the only time in the movie you really see her cry.
She's been holding it in.
Yeah,
She's
so
trying
it's
to be
just-
brave.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, the floodgates open.
Come here. Don't cry.
Oh, I love him. Hey, Alec was so great, right? Because right away, as soon as I start like that, he was like, come here. Then you hear him go, don't cry. And in such a lovely way. And that's that thing that happens in a relationship too, where people do know each other that way.
Yeah.
Where when you do explode because of an old thing, the other partner might say, well, okay, we've been down this road before, and you know.
Did you have all of that emotion mapped out in your head, or did you let it take you where it would take you each
Yeah,
take?
you don't have it mapped out. The great thing about film acting, the most exciting thing for me is that I want to put myself in a position to have an emotional experience on camera. So I didn't know I was going to cry like that. I really didn't. I didn't. And I just knew that what I had to do was tell him something really important, something that was urgent. You know, it was interesting, actually, it was written that my character got out of bed and stood across the room. And I said, you know, I said to the director, I said, I don't think she would. I said, I think the scene is really intimate, that it's about just like saying to somebody, you know, it's the middle of the night, you know.
Right. Wow. It's one of the most powerful moments in the film.
Thanks.
So I congratulate you on it, and thank you so much for telling us more about it.
Thank you, Dave.
Now, if you have not seen Still Alice, be sure to check it out. And thanks so much for watching Fandango Frontrunners. To thank you for joining us today, we have made you your very own
Come on.
Fandango gift card in character as Still
With
Alice.
my face on it, that's so
I know,
weird.
so just enjoy.
Oh, yay.
Have fun.
Thank you.
Thanks again, and great to see you. Walk over here to this iPad and we're gonna take a quick photo.
Oh, sure, okay.
We'll put this on your Twitter.
On the Twitter.
1, 2, 3. Love it.
Yay.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
Great to see you. Congrats.